The story starts off with John Creasy, a former CIA operative who goes to Mexico to see an old friend and former boss, Paul Rayburn. They both sat down and talk about the good times till Creasy indicated he's in need of a job. Rayburn's talk him into being a bodyguard for Samuel Ramos, an automaker in Mexico City, who has a daughter named Lupita, aka Pita, who is in need of a bodyguard due to Mexico's high kidnapping crime rate. Fortunately, Creasy was assigned to the job. Pita attempted to make friends with Creasy by knowing more about him. However, it did not work well because Creasy is antisocial. Creasy's problem was depression and alcoholism, which were linked to his dark past working with the CIA. One night things got worse with a combination of alcohol and PTSD took a toll on him mentally. Creasy got suicidal and decided to unalive himself, but the gun malfunctioned. When he asked Rayburn about a bullet misfire, he responded, "Bullets always tell the truth." From there on, Creasy began to think positive, then regained his motivation to protect Pita. Creasy cuts back on drinking and began reading the Bible more often. The silent treatment is broken between Pita and Creasy when she helped him copy the license plate number of an unknown car that was following them. Creasy began to develop better relationship bond with Pita. He developed a close attachment as he helps her with swimming practice. With his help and hard work, Pita won the school swimming competition. One day while walking the dog waiting outside Pita's piano lesson, he noticed two federal police officers blocking the roadway. Creasy then recognizes the car that followed him earlier. At this time, Creasy knew Pita was about to be kidnapped. He guns down two of the kidnappers, including the officers. Unfortunately, he suffers a fatal gunshot injury and Pita is now taken. Creasy is now labeled as a suspect as he is now paraded as a trophy in front of the reporters. But Mariana Garcia Guerrero, a reporter, challenges the narrative alongside with Miguel Manzano. Miguel Manzano, an agent of the AFI, relocates the critical condition Creasy to a veterinary clinic to protect him from corrupt officials. Meanwhile, with the assistance of Police Lieutenant Victor Fuentes, Samuel agrees with the Voice, leader of the abduction ring, to pay a ransom of $10 million for her release. But during the ransom drop, things went south when the kidnappers got ambushed, and the Voice nephew gets killed during the gunfight. The Voice blames the Ramos for the loss of his nephew. He told them Pita will be taken away from them permanently as a payback. In other words, he's going to unalive her. Meanwhile, in the clinic, Rayburn informs Creasy that Pita is dead because the money drop-off went bad when the kidnapper's nephew got killed. Later on, Guerrero informs Creasy that the kidnappers are a part of a powerful brotherhood known as the La Hermandad, which includes of disloyal enforcement officers, criminal, and murderers. Creasy assures Pita's mother, Lisa, that he will kill everyone responsible for Pita's death. With Rayburn's help, Creasy was able to purchase weapons and equipment. From the license plate number he copied earlier with the help of Pita, Creasy was able to locate and capture the first suspect, the getaway driver. He brutally tortures him like something you see in a third world country, then kills him after taking information. The information he gathered leads him to a nightclub where suspected kidnappers are hiding. Creasy asks questions before he guns down two criminals before interrogating the middle person. He recovers an incrementing ATM card and a kidnapped victim and a cop named Fuentes. He hands over the victim and middle person to Guerrero, who reveals Fuentes is the part of the Brotherhood. One day, Creasy recons the busy intersection of the city where Fuentes is known for going by. He set up an ambush. When Creasy spots his motorcade, he launches the rocket propel grenade. Creasy kidnaps Officer Fuentes, who later admits he had his officers ambush the ransom drop-off. But however, he finds out that most of the ransom money has been stolen by Jordan Kalfas, Samuel Ramos' lawyer. Creasy, now in shock, but just as he promised, he is not taking any prisoners. He inserted a bomb in his rectum, blowing him up. Creasy searches Kalfas' residence and finds a decapitated body in the pool and a fax with a bank account information leading to Samuel Ramos. When Creasy confronts Ramos, he confessed his lawyer encouraged him to plan the daughter's kidnapped in order to collect the insurance payout, a payout to settle his father's debts, despite the fact the assurance that she will be released. Samuel killed Kalfas after Fuentes obstructed the deal, accusing him of Pita's demise. Lisa, who now knows Samuel was involved, yells at Creasy to kill her husband or she would take her own life. Creasy provides Samuel Ramos a gun and the same bullet he used to try suicide. Samuel, who was deeply regretful, used it to shoot himself. Meanwhile, Guerrero and Manzano trace the ATM card back to the Voice's wife and locate her address. Manzano's men infiltrated into her house and obtained the Voice's picture. Despite the Brotherhood's threat, Guerrero published the photo and sends Creasy the address. When he arrives at their residence, he took the Voice's wife and his brother as prisoners. Despite a gunshot wound to the chest, Creasy learns the real ringleader's name, Daniel Sanchez. When he contacted Daniel and threatens his going to butcher the brother and pregnant wife like a meat house, Daniel reveals to him Peta is still alive. He offered to trade Peta for his pregnant wife and brother for Creasy himself, and Creasy agrees to the offer. Creasy calls Lisa and shockingly informs her Peta is still alive. He instructs her to join him for the hostage exchange for Peta. During the exchange, Peta reunites with Creasy on the bridge and assures her that he still loves her regardless of what happens to him. Creasy then instructs her to reunite with her mother. Peta tearfully reunites with her mother as Creasy watched in sadness, however in satisfaction that his mission is done. Creasy was taken away from Daniel's men as Peta watched in tears. Later on, Creasy will die from the gunshot wound he received earlier. Later that same day, Miguel Manzano will track down Daniel and execute him during the course of an arrest. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy classic recaps like these, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow.